So in this lesson, we're going to go through 6 more letters, a bit more this time than before because we are ready for it. Okay, so starting off with the first letter right here, which is the letter Sin. Okay, this letter right here is called Sin, and it's pronounced just like an English S, as in the word seen, when you've seen something. Okay, so a very simple letter right there. It's seen, and it's also pronounced as the letter S, as in seen. The letter coming after that is its sister, and it looks very similar to it, except that it has 3 dots instead of no dots. So a bit more like that. And this letter right here is Sheen. Okay, this letter right here is called Sheen. So the letter is pronounced sh. So the example word that we will use then is a word very similar to the word, which is she. Okay, so it's just the sh, very simple letter. Okay, coming after this, we will have 4 more letters. All of these letters share the foundation of how they what they look like, and they 2 of them have something more. So the first letter right here is seen, and all of these 4 letters that we're going to go through now are heavy letters. That's a sod. That was unnecessarily big, so let's do that again. So that's sod, and we'll write it like this, sod. I will not write an example word for this because it's a very unique letter, so it's heavy. I'll put the H here for it, so H for heavy. So it's sod, sod. Do you hear the S sound at the beginning? S, s, s. It sounds almost like a bird. S, s, s. That type of sound. So sod. You can produce it by slightly pressing or making rolling your tongue. So making it as if you've rolled your tongue inside of your mouth, and then you blow the air through that through your tongue. So it's sod, sod. That sound. Okay, coming after it is the letter dod. So it looks exactly the same, and it has a dot there, a dot for dod, dod. The Arabic language is sometimes referred to as the language of dod because this is a very unique letter, and it's pronounced by filling, so pressing your tongue towards the top of your mouth and putting some air inside of the tongue. So, and then when you release that air that you gathered inside of your tongue whilst pressing it to the top of your mouth, you produce this sound. So it's lod, lod. Before I release it, I will say, if you hear that sound. So it's, and when I release it, it becomes lo, lo. So it's lod. Again, we will not use an example for this because it's a very unique letter. Okay, coming after it, we have the letter ta. So it shares the same foundation here, except that it stops there, and then we just have that one coming down. So that's the letter ta, and it sounds like an English T, but it's heavy, so it's not really a T. So it's ta, ta, that sound, ta, ta, ta. Okay, so that's ta. Coming after it is its sister again, and again looking exactly the same. Except that it has a dot right there, and that becomes va, va. Okay, you produce this also by putting your tongue on the top, below your upper teeth, but then you gather some air again in your mouth whilst releasing the air. So some air is gathered in your mouth and some air is released whilst holding your tongue on the bottom of your top teeth. So v, 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 that sound, v, v, v. That's va, va. Okay, and again, we will not use an example for this because it's a very unique letter. As I've mentioned, all of these 4 letters right here are heavy letters. So for the other letters that are soft, for these 2, for example, when we have a kasra on sin, we say sa. And when we have a kasra on sheen, we say sha. Here, we don't say a for the fatha, we say sa. So it's sa instead of sa. No, it's sa. Dod is pronounced da. Da. You can hear it's heavy. Da. Ta is pronounced ta. Okay? Ta. And va is pronounced va. the. So all of these four letters right here, they are heavy letters. Okay, let's look at how these letters are written in the beginning, middle, and end of a word. So we have in the beginning right here that we start off with. Beginning. So we have seen and sheen. They are written just like this with without its second part. So this right here again is just to connect to the next letter. So really what is left of the letter when it's in the beginning of a word is this part right here. Okay, and of course to make it a sheen you just put 3 dots. Coming after it is the sad and dad, and same thing happens there. So just the main body and the thing that goes on under the line is not there. So what continues here is again to connect to the next letter. So that's sad and of course with the dot dad. Okay, then we have ta and va. So the same thing happens here. We have that one and you just connect it to the next letter. So nothing happens to ta, be it in the beginning, middle, or end. Alright, and to make it a va, we put the dot right there. Okay, so in the middle, this is going to be super simple. In the middle, the only thing that happens is that you attach a letter before it like that. And then you have the scene right there, and with 3 dots it's sheen. Again, this part and the part after it is just to connect the letters before and after. So if you were to have a letter that doesn't connect to something after it, like ra, so let's say I'm gonna write ra shada, I'll have ra and then sheen without something attached like that. Ra shada, ra shada. Okay, that's just an example. Generally, when it's connected to something, is written like this. The same thing with sad and dad. So connected to something before it, then comes the letter, then comes something after it. So it doesn't have the lower part like this part, right? That is not written when it's in the beginning or middle of a word. As for ta and va, as I mentioned earlier, it does not change, be it in the beginning, middle, or end of a word. It just has something connected to it before and connected to it after. Okay, so at the end of a word, at the end of a word, again, it looks very similar, except that it actually has the rest, its remaining part. So it's attached to something, then comes the main body, and then you actually do end with this because it doesn't have to connect to something else. So that's a scene right there, and that's a sheen. Same thing happens with sad and dad. So you can see the whole letter except that it's connected to something before it like that, and that's a dad now with the dot. And again, the va and ta, they look exactly the same. So it's just like that. Okay, so that's super simple. Let's just mention a few examples here before or let's mention a few examples to practice. So let's start off with the word shakhs. So the word shakhsun. Shakhsun. Okay. So if you try to pronounce that now with the tanween, you will say what? You will say shakhsun. Okay. Shakhsun. Okay, next word I'm going to write. I want you to try to pronounce it before I reveal how it's pronounced. Fatha. Fatha. And then this letter right there, which is, what letter is that? So how do you pronounce this? You say taraha. 2 first letters are heavy. Taraha. Taraha. Okay, taraha. Before you forget, shakhsun means a person. A person. And taraha means to throw or to reject something, to get rid of something, to throw away. So here it's for the third person. So he threw, as in he got rid of something, or he rejected. Rejected. I hope that is clear. So that is rejected right there. Okay, next word, we're going to use the word, again, try to read what I'm writing right here before I reveal how it's pronounced. What do we have right here? Fatha, fatha, fatha. So that is basata. Basata. Basata means to spread something out. So he spread something out. He spread something out. Basata. Okay, yet another word is this word right here. So fatha, fatha again, and the last word, the last letter is going to have a tanween. How do you pronounce that? That is jarasa, jarasa, jarasa. So sorry for that. So with the tanween, of course, is jarasun. It's jarasun, and that means a bell, as in doorbell or another type of bell. So jarasun is a bell. And next word, I'm gonna read it, and I want you to try to write it. Okay, so I'm gonna reveal how it's pronounced, and I want you to stop the video and try to write it down to see if you can write what you hear. Okay, so the word will be halvun. Halvun. Okay, last time. Halvun. All right, so pause the video if you want to try it yourself. Now I'm going to write it. So the word is ha. Okay, let's put it like this. And we have a shadda right here. And then tanween. Okay, so that's halvun. I'm going to put a circle around it to, yeah, like that. Okay, so halvun. Obviously, fatha for ha. And then you have dhun, which has a shadda. So if I took away the shadda from here, I would pronounce it hadhun, hadhun. But because of the shadda, it's emphasized and it becomes hadhun. Okay, that's a few examples. Let's mention the last example here before concluding. So I'm going to write it and I want you to try to read it before I reveal how it's pronounced. How do you pronounce that word right there? That is ضد. ضد. Now you can hear the two, so dad and dal next to one another, and they're very different. So this is a ض right here with the kasra, and dun with an emphasis. ضد. And that means opposite. So the opposite of something. Opposite. And hadhun, by the way, it means sheer or portion, a portion of something, like your share or portion of something. All right, super simple. It just requires practice, and I hope this is sufficient for now. We obviously going to practice more in the future, and that's it for this video.